Hello and welcome to Science to Go Jellybean Jamboree. I'm Miss Warren from the Dalton Library. And today, in honor of National Jellybean Day, which is April 22nd this year, we will be using jelly beans to enhance our math skills, create edible slime, and discover what happens when jelly beans are soaked in water. Jelly beans were thought to be a hybrid of a candy called Turkish Delight, which had a chewy center, and Jordan almonds, which have a crunchy coating. It was first mentioned in the United States during the Civil War when a candy maker advertised sending jelly beans to the soldiers. It became popular in candy stores in the early 1900s and associated with Easter in the 1930s. The name comes from the jelly texture of the candy and the shape, which is of course bean shaped. The popularity of this treat rose in the 1960s as then Governor Ronald Reagan expressed his love for the candy, and the Jelly Belly Company started making them in different flavors. You will find jelly beans in the kit that you were supplied. Please do not eat your jelly beans before you completed the activity so you have enough for each of them. Our first activity is jelly bean math. Math, along with science, technology, and engineering, is known as STEM. Many times people think that math is boring and difficult, but we will discover that math is fun as we use our jelly beans to complete the following activities. You will need the math worksheets and the jelly beans from the packet and a pencil and crayons if you wish. The first activity we are going to be doing is jelly bean sorting, and this is the paper. You will take your jelly beans, take one out of the pack, and whatever color it is, put it in a circle. For example, if you have a pink jelly bean, put it in a pink one. Then you will pull out another one. In this case, it is black. We'll put it in a different circle. You will continue sorting your jelly beans until all the colors are in their own circle. Once you have your jelly beans sorted, look for the jelly bean graph that is in your packet. What I have done is I have counted out each color and I have graphed it on this piece of paper. For example, I had 5 pink, 3 yellow, 5 purple. I had a blue crayon, so I used that. Red, I had also 5. Black is 2, green is 2, white is 1, and orange is 2. So you can take a pause and do that at this time. Once you have completed your graph, look at it and decide which color did you have the most of. In this example, I had the same amount of red, purple, and pink, and the least I had amount was white. So figure that out. All right, on to our next activity. The next activity is about patterns. If you look at the box on the far right, you will see letters in it. What this is it's a pattern that you are going to create with your jelly beans. For example, the first one says AB. So what I can do is take a purple jelly bean, make this represent A, put it in the first box. Then I'll take the pink one, it will represent B, and put it in the next box. And then it'll be keep going. Purple, pink, purple, pink, purple, pink, across. You do not have to fill out all the boxes. Once you've created that pattern, look at the next one. It is ABB. You do not have to use the same colors for each row. So in this one, I could do red, green, green, red, green, green. Continue working on your patterns until you have created ones from each of them. You do not have to leave the previous one filled. You can use them from the other ones to create the next ones. Enjoy your patterns. Our final math activity is going to be jelly bean measurement. You'll have 3 papers related to that one. The first one is your jelly bean measurement sheet. Then you will have 2 pieces of paper that are called the jelly bean measurement, and you will see pictures on them. We're going to start with the second page. There is a small bunny at the top. What you will do is you will estimate. Estimate is a guess. Look at the jelly bean. Pick one out, look at it. How many jelly beans high do you think that bunny is? I think the bunny is 1. So on my measurement sheet where it says estimate, I am going to write a number 1. And then you will guess how tall the egg is. That is at the bottom of the page. Keep going until you have an estimate for all the items. Once you have the measurements estimated for each item, go back, take a jelly bean, set it next to the bunny. The bunny looks like it's 1 jelly bean high. So then what you will mark in is the bunny is 1 jelly bean long. In this case, we're actually doing height. So then measure out how big the egg is. That one looks like it might be 2 jelly beans. Continue until you have that. And at the bottom, you can look and see what is longer than the others. Which one is shorter than another one? Look at the heights and compare them. How it works. First of all, we did sorting. Sorting is the process of objects being separated by a certain characteristic. We sorted the jelly beans by color, and then we used a graph to compare those 2 items, color and number. In math, the next item we did is patterns. It is a series or sequence that repeats according to a rule or rules. In our first case, the first pattern was A, B. In our activity, the pattern repeats a color. Everybody will use the same pattern A, B, but it might look different because we chose different colors for A and B. The last thing we did was measurement. Measurement is finding a number that shows the size or amount of something as compared to a standard. In our case, we used a jelly bean as the standard to determine the height of those items. However, before we measured them, we estimated how many jelly beans tall it would be. As I mentioned, the estimate is a guess or opinion of something in case how tall each item was. All right, now we are ready for our second activity. This is dissolving jelly beans. You will need an adult to assist you with this program. The supplies you will need include the 3 cups that were in your kit. They are labeled cold, room temperature, and hot. Here is where you will need an adult's assistance. You will also need from your home a 1/4 measuring cup. All right, what we're going to do is take your 1/4 measuring cup that you will get from home, and you will need some water. So pour 1/4 cup of water into the cup. You can also add an ice cube to make this cold, or make sure you have really cold water from your refrigerator or tap. You want to make sure it is cold. In the second cup, which is going to be marked room temperature, we're just going to take water that's been sitting out in the living room or wherever, or just regular water, and pour it in. It's just sitting out all day. The third one, you're going to need hot water. Make sure you have an adult get the hot water for you. We're going to measure a 1/4 cup. I have heated mine in the microwave for about a minute. And I put it in the thermos to keep it nice and warm while we do this. So we have cold, room temperature, and hot. Now you're going to take 2 jelly beans. You can use the same color jelly beans. You can use different colored jelly beans. It does not matter. You just need 2 jelly beans and place them in each cup. And observe what happens as soon as you put them in each cup. Here's our cold. Here's our room temperature. And here is our hot. Once you do that, either set a timer or look at the clock and see when 5 minutes will be, and we're going to check them out again. In the meantime, as you're waiting for your 5 minutes, find your dissolving jelly bean observation sheet that is in your packet. You will see we have 0 minutes, 5, 10, 15, 20. At 0 minutes, not much is happening. in any of those, so you could just put okay. So we're going to set these aside, go to our next one, and we will come back and see how they are doing. All right, through the magic of editing, our time has passed for about 5 minutes on our dissolving jelly beans, so we're going to take a look at them. Here's our cold. Not much has happened to those, has it? They look pretty much similar. Room temperature, it's starting to turn a little bit of color. Not a whole lot, is it? Well, and look at our hot. It looks like it's starting to come apart already. It's turning purple, which is the color of the jelly beans. Is more in the water. There's some stuff floating, which would be more of the coating of it. So that is about 5 minutes. What you're going to do is continue watching them every 5 minutes for about a half an hour. And keep writing down what happens every time you look at them in those times. What is happening is the solid, which in our case is the jelly bean in the container, is dissolving into the liquid, which is known as a solvent. The molecules of the solid and the solvent, which is the liquid, must be attracted to each other in order for them to mix. In this instance, our solid is the jelly bean and our solvent is the water. The sugar in the jelly beans is attracted to the molecules of the water, so the sugar dissolves into the water. The jelly beans in hot water are dissolving faster because the warm molecules of water are moving faster and can come into contact with the jelly bean more often as compared to the room temperature or cold. So continue to watch and see what happens. You can also explore different ways to dissolve the jelly beans in our Going Further section on your packet at the end. Dissolve them in different liquids, see what happens. Try different ideas with it. Our final activity is edible jelly bean slime. Please note, for this activity, you will also need an adult's assistance. Take 10 jelly beans out of your group that you have and the craft stick from the supplies. You will also need a microwave-safe bowl. Ask an adult for this help. Cornstarch, a 1 teaspoon measuring spoon, microwave, and water. For our final activity, we'll complete the slime. As I said, please have an adult help you. They should get the bowl. It does not need to be large. And add 10 jelly beans. Color does not matter at this point. What you will do is you will add 1 teaspoon of water to the jelly beans and place it in the microwave for about 20, well, I actually have about 15 seconds on here, maybe 20. If it doesn't look like a paste, you'll put it in for a little bit longer. All right, I have put my 10 jelly beans and the water in the microwave and heated it up to make a paste. Now what you are going to do to make your slime is add cornstarch. So add 2 teaspoons of cornstarch to your jelly bean paste. And mix it together. Just keep stirring. Yes, the cornstarch will go everywhere. Keep mixing until it is all absorbed into the jelly beans. You'll continue to make a thick paste because cornstarch is considered to be something that absorbs. So it's going to absorb the liquid. It'll come up looking like this. Add another teaspoon of it. And see how your slime looks. If you like the consistency of that slime, just go ahead and you can play with it. If you want it to be a little more like a salad, more like a Play-Doh, add a little bit more cornstarch to it and it'll become thicker and a more dough-like substance. Right now what I have pretty much is still really sticky and more like a slime, and it'll do a lot. If you don't want it as sticky, like I said, add more cornstarch until you get it the way you would like it. But take your time. Once you have it the way you would like it, you continue to play with it and explore with it. If it's thicker, you could maybe design with it, like more of a Play-Doh type item. Once you are finished with this will not save. It is edible, so if you'd like to eat it, go ahead. It is just water, jelly beans, and cornstarch. Or if you do not want to, you just throw it away in the trash. But please dispose of it properly. The reason this works is this slime is made from household items that form polymer chains once they are combined. The heat breaks down the candy coating of the jelly, releasing the sugar, which melts. We add the water so it does not burn. The cornstarch then mixes into the sugar to form long polymer chains, which gives the slime its stretchy consistency. This cornstarch, as we mentioned, is an absorber or a thickener, and as more is added to the mixture, it turns it from more of a fluid, sticky substance to a solid. And that is what we have done with jelly bean science. Continue to look at your information sheet on ideas of going further and things you can do with these activities. Also gives you the key terms, definitions of things we have talked about today, and books that relate to the subjects. Thank you for joining me for Science to Go.